That's the face of a man who's just read a severe weather warning. And yeah, I got my bike out of the lecture room, no trouble. And now I'm off, and if you want the truth, I'm in a little bit of a hurry to get as far north as I can so that I can outrun that storm. Been in one of those before, I don't really want to have to do it again if I can possibly avoid it. So I'm heading for the motorway as soon as I get out of Reims. It'll be the A26 to Calais. There I am, I'm coming into the toll booth. And I have my my tag in my bag, so I ought to get through this without any trouble. There you go, no problem at all. Now today is my last riding day before getting on the Channel Tunnel. Got a day off in Calais tomorrow. What I want to do, there's a restaurant there I want to go to that serves seafood. So I want to stay there for a day, have a look around and have a decent seaside meal. But on my way, I'm not staying entirely on the motorway. I'm going to be getting off and I'm going to be going to the battlefield at Azincourt. I believe I can do a circuit around it, so that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I got caught up in the rain. No, I've got far enough north now, so I'm away from that nasty weather. I've managed to outrun it. I did get wet. The motorway was awash with water. I won't say inches deep because you'd never get that, do you? Wouldn't still be on the bike. I was doing 80 mile an hour in 2 inches of water, would I? But there's a lot of it around. And to be fair, these tyres worked an absolute bloody dream. There was not a single moment where I thought, do you know what? This is getting a bit tricky. They stuck to the road like glue. And now I'm going to turn onto the road that goes through, I think, the middle of the battlefield. Now over to the right, that was where the French army was camped. 20 to 25,000 altogether, and they were growing by the day. They had a plan. The plan was basically to wait. Every day their army got bigger. The English army got smaller, weaker, sicker. So they didn't need to do a thing. However, every day new nobles came in. Those nobles wanted to fight. Those nobles wanted glory, and they wanted hostages that they could sell for a ransom. And they were itching to go. Over to the left was the English army under Henry V. Don't go getting it wrong, they were in a terrible state. And the words that William Shakespeare put into the mouth of Henry V about brand of brothers, not true. He put those in as dramatic effect. The king was lucky. He had big tents, a lot of horses, a lot of servants, all looking after him. He was well fed, he was warm. His troops, very, 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 very different. They were hungry. There's a lot of French towns that they came to along the way, refused to supply food. Initially they gave up, but as time wore on, they fought back. So the English troops were not being fed properly. Henry had learned what the French plan was. He understood they were going to use their cavalry to chase the archers off the fields. So he had them make 6-foot long stakes with sharp points and carry them, starving hungry. They were starving hungry and carrying a big stake. They were also riven with dysentery, amongst other things. They were basically dribbling diarrhea everywhere they went. And that didn't change on the day of the battle. They'd spent the night in the cold, sleeping on the floor, outside, in the open. Some of them had cut their hosiery so they could just crap where they were, where they stood. That was the parlous state of the English army. And there were only about 6, 7, maybe 8,000 of them. Against a warm, well-fed French army that didn't need to do anything other than wait, and which got bigger by the day. I'm doing a full circuit of the battlefield today, all of it. So the battlefield was allegedly over to the left. There is some dispute. Nobody has found any archaeological evidence the battle took place where everybody says it did. No arrowheads, no armour, no bones. And there are some arguments to say that if it had taken place where it's supposed to have taken place, then Henry V would have been acting stupidly. And he wasn't stupid. The main pointer is that the castle at Azincourt anchored the English army's left flank. A castle is a strong point. If it's held by the enemy, you don't anchor your flank on it because they're just going to destroy you. We are doing a few roadworks around here, aren't they? Now, when we come to see this church, there, the English army had made its camp off to the right hand side of that. And the place where the battle took place is a way off to the left. Sign there for Azincourt. Henry couldn't afford to stand still and wait. But like the French, he understood the general consensus of opinion is that the first army to move loses. The army that stands still the longest and waits wins. But Henry couldn't afford to wait. So So although his army was well set up across the southern end of the battlefield, he decided to move them. He had to remove their stakes for the archers, march to the middle of the battlefield, halfway between where they were and where the French were, rehammer their stakes in. Any time during that move, the French cavalry could have charged, and the battle would have been lost, no question. But the French were having a rest. A lot of them had gone to water their horses, have something to eat. They didn't believe that Henry would dare attack, but he did. Once he was in arrow range, he fired, and this angered the French. They thought their honour had been slighted, and they charged. And there's the best description you'll ever get. There's the battlefield. You'll see that's the road where I'd gone from Trambercourt to Azincourt. That was a memorial that was built about the battle. I've got the last few miles to do now to get into Calais. The storm wasn't supposed to get this far north, so I think I'm safe. I don't really need to worry about it, even though those clouds look a bit dark in places. I don't think there's anything for me to be concerned about. And these roads look nice and dry, don't they? Surprisingly enough, this far north, I don't usually find nice roads. They're usually a bit straight, but this is alright, isn't it? I'm going to turn right here. I don't know why. I'm going to go with the sat-nav knows something that I don't. And to be fair, the road just got better. I've got my hotel booked for tonight. It's if you look at Calais, you see it's like an island with a canal running around in a circle. And I'm on the outside of that canal, but only just. It's got indoor locked parking for the bike. And I've got myself a single room. You know, don't you, that's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. But not all that bothered, to be fair. I'll be in there for 2 nights before I go and get the train home. I'm basically just looking to relax. And I'm well pleased to have found something like this. Very unexpected. I hope this doesn't turn out to be a single track. And it hasn't. I think the hotel I've got is called Metropole. Looks a bit old school. And it's not especially expensive. It's £65 per night. Which is hard to complain about, bearing in mind I'm going to be about maybe a 5-minute walk from the centre of Calais. I am going to be getting on the motorway, judging by what the sat-nav is saying, which is fine by me. I want the easiest ride into Calais that I can have. And I say the hotel is pretty much in the centre of Calais, and it does look a bit busy. So I just want to take my time once I'm in Calais and tootle along. Give me sat-nav plenty of time to tell me what I'm doing. But first, I've got to finish enjoying this road, haven't I? It ain't bad at all. So, turned into Calais. Good old McDonald's, eh? Get everywhere, don't they? Well, I think it's a school day. Seem to do the same as us. Blimey, there's kids everywhere. Do you think the yellow hats mean something? Ah, there's Calais there. That's the town hall. There it is there, over on the right hand side with the spiky spire. Not far off now. I think we're about here. Here we are. The hotel is just out of eyesight there. Or out of camera sight. Cheers. Ah, look at that. Old school. And a French pint. And a shaky hand. And there's the parking. Locked compound. And I'm not the only one here with bikes. I haven't seen any other bikers in here. Now, this is quite an important statue, and in a minute that gives you a better description of what it's about than I could. At least I got to live. Ah, we all know these, don't we? There it is, actually built in 2017. Took their time, didn't they? No stress, yeah. And here we are. What I came for. And I ate an awful lot of that. Not all of it. Eyes are bigger than my belly. But you know what? I got a toolkit with it as well. For cracking the shells. It's awesome. And this is me on the train home.